Welcome to the EmpowerHer Wellness podcast. I'm Morgan, and I'm thrilled to be your host and wellness coach as we navigate the path to a healthier, more confident you. As the owner of Get Fit With Me, I bring years of experience in personal training, nutrition, and coaching to each episode. Join me as we explore practical tips and strategies for fitness, nutrition, mindset, and more, all tailored for busy women just like you. Let's empower your wellness journey and achieve lasting transformation together. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to an episode of the EmpowerHer Wellness podcast. I'm your host and coach, Morgan Ekovich, and today is my 30th birthday, and I am really excited for today's episode for a few reasons. Number one is last year on September 12th, we officially launched the EmpowerHer Wellness podcast, and I cannot believe the amount of women it's touched and the amount of amazing women that I've had on here to interview over the course of this last year. So I want to celebrate that here on this episode. I also want to celebrate my 30th birthday. I know that's a big milestone for many of us. And I think a lot of times when we have birthdays in general, whether they're a big one or they're just kind of one of those in between, that it's really good to reflect on the lessons that we've learned throughout our life, whether it's only in that past year or it's our entire life. So what I'm going to do today is, as a celebration to our 52nd episode, officially 1 year of the EmpowerHer Wellness podcast, and my 30th birthday, I'm going to be sharing 30 lessons that I have learned, not just in my 30 years, because let's be honest, I probably wasn't learning very much in those first 15, 16 years, because I'm a teenager, I'm a little kid. But since I've been in the health and fitness industry, there has been so many things that I have helped myself with, as well as helping clients with, and just eye-opening lessons and things that I want you to listen to today and notice of, oh, am I doing that? Am I not doing that? How am I viewing this type of topic? Because we all learn and grow and develop and change at different times, but hearing other people's lessons on when that happened to them is also impactful. So today I've got 30 lessons, 30 tips, 30 tricks, 30 things that I'm going to discuss. You are going to notice that during part of them, I'm going to dive really deep into some of them, and some of them I'm just going to say it and we're going to move on to the next one. So kind of bear with me as we go through. We've got a few different categories. We've got health and nutrition, we've got fitness and movement, and we've got habits and mindset and lifestyle. So I've kind of broken it up into those 3 different categories for the purpose of just kind of, as I was thinking through these, there's so many things that I have learned through my career, through my life, through trial and error, through working with clients, that I kind of had to break it up, or this list would have continued to go on. And this list is probably, I could have gone longer than 30 things, but I tried to pick the top 30. So first thing before we dive in today, because this is the 1 year anniversary of the EmpowerHer Wellness podcast, you would do me a huge, huge thank you by sharing this episode with a friend or a family member who you think would resonate with this, whether it's just one episode or all of the episodes. There's been so much time and energy and heart and soul into this podcast, and I absolutely love doing it. And one of the biggest ways you could thank me and celebrate my birthday with me is by sharing this so we can get as many downloads as possible. And if you are watching this on YouTube, because we do have the video portion of this, make sure to subscribe to our channel so we can continue to grow, so we can continue to give you more content at a faster rate. So let's dive into the lessons. I'm so excited. Okay, so like I said, we've got 3 categories. I had to take notes. Typically, I write little bullet points, but today, because there's 30 and I have to stay on track so that you guys are like, you only said 10 or you said 50. I did take notes and I did number them to kind of keep me on track today. So for that first category is health and nutrition. Tip number 1, water before coffee in the morning. This is something that honestly, up until only a couple years ago, I started to implement. And it is a game changer what it does for my body. And it can be as simple as filling your coffee cup with water, drinking your coffee cup full of water before you put coffee in it. Does not have to be your full water bottle, just needs to be something. Number 2, protein at every meal and snack. So this is going to help you feel fuller, longer, help you feel more satisfied. It's also going to help with that muscle growth. A lot of us women are low on fiber and low on protein. So making sure we've got that palm-sized serving of protein at every single meal and snack. If you're someone who's like, I more measure my food, think about 20 to 30 grams. Think about aiming for 100 grams in a day. Number 3, you do not have to give up carbs. You just have to start pairing them smartly. So we've talked about this in other nutrition episodes of I don't want you to give up the foods you like. I don't want you to give up the alcohol. But are there ways that we can support our nutrition in a better way? For instance, I went to a networking thing recently and we had drinks at networking. Well, before that, I made sure that I had ate well throughout the day, that I had moved my body. And when it comes to those carbs, I was like, oh, yeah, I know I'm going to want whatever it is at dinner. Okay, I made sure that I had my protein so that I could have my carbs. Or when I was having my carbs, I was pairing it with things that made me feel full and satisfied. For instance, protein and healthy fats. We've talked about this in other episodes, but like you do not have to give up carbs, nor should we give up carbs, honestly. Specifically as females, like we need to make sure that we are not giving up carbs completely. And we can dive into that even deeper in a whole nother episode. Number 4, fiber is more important than you think. So we have talked about protein a ton, and in these upcoming months, we're going to be diving into fiber a little bit more. But there is so many different ways for us to get fiber. I think most of us think of just fruits and vegetables, but there's beans, there's lentils, there's whole grains. There's so many different ways, and all these different avenues to get the fiber offer our body something different. So it's important that we are having fiber in our day. So as we kind of move through and you're starting to look at your diet, are you getting fiber? How do you know that you're getting fiber? Have you tracked it? Number 5, most people are under eating vegetables. I can attest to this. So anytime I work with clients, myself included, we do a food log for a short period of time. And during that short period of time, I can see when somebody is having a vegetable a day or a vegetable a week. And we have a conversation about it. But most of the time, it's not just this random of like, oh, that was a weird week. No, that's just kind of what it is. Vegetables are sometimes really challenging to get in, it feels like, but sometimes they feel really easy. But most people are under eating vegetables. We need to eat more vegetables. Number 6, meal prep does not have to be Pinterest perfect. And we talk about this in the meal prep and planning bootcamp, as well as in previous episodes, how meal prepping looks different for every single one of you. I used to meal prep where all of my meals would be made and I would just warm them up for the week. And then I learned that like I just didn't want to eat the same thing for lunch the 5th day in a row. So instead, I switched to, okay, have I planned my meals? Have I grocery shopped? Do I have multiple fruits and veggies that I can easily grab out of the fridge? That means washing and cutting and prepping. And right there, that's about where I've stopped for the moment because that's what fits with my life. If I know we have something else going on or I really don't have time to cook, then I will make a few lunches or I will make sure I have ingredients ready to do like wraps or sandwiches or something very quick at lunchtime. But meal prep does not have to look Pinterest perfect. It looks different for every single one of us. So just because you're thinking, oh, I can't meal prep. No, you need to at least start with figuring out what meals you're committing to this week and then going grocery shopping so you have the ingredients on hand. If that's all you're doing, you are being successful in that meal prepping. Okay, so number 7, supplements can help you, but they do not replace real food. So there is so much out there of, oh, protein powders, protein bars, all of these things where like we are using supplements all the time. A supplement is supposed to supplement when we cannot get real food. That being said, I do use protein powder. I do use collagen powder. I do take a vitamin D supplement. I do take supplements when my body needs them. That being said, though, I get outside. I make sure that I am getting my protein in. But when I'm on the go, if I need a protein drink, that's okay. Or if I know I'm running out the door in the morning and I really want my coffee, I'm going to throw protein powder in my coffee so that my body can get what it needs to feel energized. Am I going to rely on that every single day, day in and day out for multiple meals? Absolutely not. So supplements are awesome. Find a supplement that you like, find a brand, a company that is regulated, And then if you like it, use it when you need to. I would rather have you use a supplement than skip meals completely. Okay, eating out. So, eating out, I think we used to be one of the most challenging things for me, especially when I was quote unquote, so in a diet, when I was trying to eat a certain way, eat healthy. And I would, before I learned what balance and 80/20 was, I would say, oh, I can't go out and eat out. Or, okay, if I go out, I can only have this. Oh, I can't have any of that fried food. So there is balance in everything. So when you are eating out, one of the things that has been a game changer for me is one, knowing that, hey, I'm going out to dinner tonight. How can I set myself up for success with breakfast, lunch, and my snacks leading into the day? I'm not starving myself so that when dinner comes, I'm like, oh, yes, I'm going to smash all this food. No, like I'm going to eat how I would normally eat. So that when dinner comes, I'm not starving. I'm not feeling like I need to binge. Instead, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the menu and I'm picking the protein and the veggie. So sometimes I love a restaurant salad. I can never make a salad at home like the restaurants make it. So for me, it's sometimes I pick a salad. Sometimes it's picking a cheeseburger and I will get veggies on the side instead of fries. Sometimes it's getting the salmon dish. Like every restaurant has healthy proteins, lean proteins. So, with that, choose your protein first and then choose your vegetable. What that's going to do is that's not going to say, that's going to give your body what it needs. And it's not going to shut you down for when the table orders fries, have a few fries, but you know you are ordering something that gives your body the fuel it needs. So when you're doing this, set yourself up for success earlier in the day so that when you do get to that end of the day meal, when you're out with your girlfriends or you and your husband or your partner are out for a date night, like you are not starving and you're not eating everything in your way. Find a vegetable, find a protein, and then from there, anything else you want, add on. Number 9, you can enjoy treats without ruining your progress. So I love this because one of the things that I have really dove into since starting Get Fit with me is the importance of you can have balance. You can have your cake and ice cream, your beer and pizza, your wine and cheese. There is balance to all of it. And when we have a balance to all of it, we are actually more successful than when we say, I can't have that. Because when we tell ourselves we can't have something, all of a sudden, all of those red flags go up of I'm going to hide it, I'm going to binge it, I am going to create an unhealthy relationship with it. So all we are doing by adding it into our diet in a very small way is I'm not saying I'm over here eating a huge bowl of ice cream by any means, but like I will have a small bowl of ice cream or I'll go to Culver's. I love their mini concrete mixers. Mini. I get halfway through the mini and I'm like full and satisfied. So it's funny how there are smaller portions that us as just Americans in general, we're like, oh, that's not enough. Let me get the large. Well, then we overeat and we're uncomfortable. Start with the mini. 90% of the time, the food that your body is craving, you can have that really small amount and feel full and satisfied. So, on to number 10. This is our last one in the health and nutrition category. Tracking your food, even temporarily, is eye-opening. This is something I highly, highly, highly recommend doing. This is something that we will do together if we work together and if we talk about nutrition. This is something that I do on a quarterly basis, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. It's all about just checking in with myself. I am typically someone who eats the same stuff over and over again. But if I notice we've been going on vacation or it's been summer and we've been out of the house, we've been doing things, and I'm like, I just feel a little disconnected. I just feel a little blah. I'll just track to have an idea of, okay, I'm doing better than I think. Or, oh, yeah, I've started to really let those slip in more instead of using it as a treat. I'm having them on a regular basis. I got into that with going out to coffee and doing multiple lattes throughout the day. Not terrible, but when you have multiple, that sugar adds up and my body just doesn't feel good with it. So knowing those types of things and being able to track it, you can do it as simple as I've got a client right now who's doing it. She's opened the notes section on her phone and she writes breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. She just writes it in there next day. And it's funny that she even was saying, she was telling me she's like, I'm eating ice cream more. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm like, let's track. As soon as you have to track it and write it down, you also just create that awareness and that consciousness around, do I really need that? Or am I just kind of doing it out of habit? That it's just creating that extra level of awareness, and we get to see what is really happening in our diet. So those are our first 10 tips. Let's move on to our next 10, which is our category of fitness and movement. Okay, so for fitness and movement, strength training is an absolute must. I don't care who you are. I don't care what journey you are on. I do not care if you are male or female. I do not care if you are 18 years old, 16 years old, or 89 years old. We need to be strength training. We need to be strength training optimally. I would like you strength training 3 days a week for 30 to 60 minutes. That would be my ultimate goal. If that cannot happen, that is okay. We can make it easier on us. We've had previous episodes about the fitness in 5 minutes. Go back and listen to that. You can add strength training in just 5 minutes a day. I will take that. But we need to be strength training for our muscle mass, for our bone density, for our overall health. So it is an absolute must. It is a non-negotiable. I used to be the person who was like the little cardio bunny back in high school. And then I started lifting. And I realized how my lifts made me a faster and a stronger runner. And I had less injury. And then I went to college and I was lifting more. And it's just about finding that balance and finding the type of strength that you enjoy. So that being said, number 12, you do not have to spend hours in the gym to see results. 90% of the programs that I write for clients and myself are 30 minutes or less. We can be very effective if we are intentional around what we are doing, because life is busy. And if I'm telling you you have to spend hours in the gym to get your results, you're probably just not going to do it. I'm going to be honest. If somebody told me that, I'd be like, okay, it's just easier not to do it than to find hours in my week to go to the gym. No. So how do we find that middle ground? And that right there is what I want you to think about, is where can you start incorporating that strength training? Where can you incorporate movement in a very small way? Number 13, walking is totally underrated. It's one of those where we don't think it's going to do anything. We're like, it's just walking. It's not that big of a deal. It's not going to do anything. It's like drinking water. I feel like we have the same mindset around water sometimes. It's not going to do anything. I don't need it. No, please drink your water. Please walk. 90, that's not a good stat. Most of us, I'm going to use most of us instead of 90% here. Most of us are not moving enough. We are maybe getting a workout in, but then we are sedentary at our computers, at our jobs. We are sedentary for the remainder part of the day. And it's eye-opening that when you just start incorporating 2 or 3 minutes of walking each hour, how much better your body feels, how much clearer your mind is, and how much more energy you have overall. So walking is totally underrated. You need to start doing it more. And especially here in Michigan in the summer and in the fall, now that it's starting not to get so hot, go and enjoy it. Get outside, enjoy the fresh air. It is so impactful for us. Mobility work now prevents pain later. Do your mobility work, do flexibility and stretching. Do not wait till you do not have it to start it. Start it now, be proactive. Train for strength, not just aesthetics. So the one thing that I think that we as women get caught in, for social media at least, and is we see these people who are spending hours in the gym, eating a certain way, and we do their workout plans, or we start to follow them and we're like, oh, I want to look like them. And some people do strength train for aesthetics. They are competing. They are doing things for that reason. Most of us should just be strength training to get stronger, to make life easier. I have another client. She's got a little girl, and over the last 2 months, her weight has progressively increased in the gym. We went from 10s to 12s. We're now up to 20s to 30s. And it's been super fun to see that as her weight progressed, her daughter's getting bigger. So she needs to be able to move this heavier weight anyways. So her goal is not to look jacked and buff and all these things. Like, yeah, we all kind of do a little bit. But at the same time, her ultimate goal is to be able to feel strong with her little girl. And that's why we need to think about strength training is what does strength training do? Why is it going to make our life easier? How is it going to make our life easier? Number 16, short workouts still count. This goes back to our Fitness in 5 Minutes episode last month. You just need 5 minutes. If you want to hear more about that, go back to our episode last month and listen to it. I did an entire episode on it. 5 minutes is better than 0. Number 17, rest days are part of the plan and not a sign of weakness. I love my rest days. And rest days do not have to look like sitting on the couch watching Netflix doing nothing. No, rest days can look like going for a light walk, taking the dog for a walk. It can look like light movement. It can look like mobility work. It can look like a light, gentle yoga class, something slow, something that's giving your body recovery. If we are lifting and running and pushing ourselves 7 days a week without rest, we are going to burn out. We are going to have injury, and our body does not have enough time to recover in between the workouts, which means you're not going to progress like you want to because they don't have a full amount of time to get back to where they feel strong. That if they're always running at that yellow or on E, so if you think about your phone battery, when you give yourself rest days, your battery gets to get back up to green. Well, if you don't, you're sitting between yellow and red almost all the time, which what does that do? It causes a lot of stress on our body physically and mentally, which we're not going to be able to move forward. So super important to program your rest days in. Number 18, body weight exercises are powerful when done with intention. So I love body weight exercises, specifically when I am traveling, because I'm not always at a hotel where there's a gym, or I'm not always at an Airbnb where I've remembered my weights, not even my weights, where I've remembered my mini bands or my resistance bands, or I didn't want to pack my TRX. Like, I've gone on vacation to Cancun and I'm like, I'm not going to pack anything. They have a gym. If I want to use it, great. If I don't want to go see people, a body weight workout in your hotel room can be super effective, but it's all about the intention you put behind it. Like I mentioned in last month's episode of the Fitness in 5, is it's not 5 minutes of fitness or 5 minutes of exercise where you're scrolling on your phone and doing ankle pumps. No, put your phone down, pick your exercises, pick your reps, set your timer, and do it. Be intentional about it. Add some tempo in there, add some pauses. There's so many ways that you can make a body weight exercise and a body weight workout super impactful. You just have to be intentional about it. Number 19, progress doesn't always look like heavier weights. It can also look like better form and more control. So one of the things is when we start, I always start everybody with no weight through any movement pattern. And deadlift specifically, this is a move that I see a lot of people struggle with. It's kind of an awkward movement, a hinge, and we start with no weight and with our hands behind our back. And then we start with a weight, then we progress to weight behind our back, and then we move forward. And the weight, when I give it to you, is light. And when I move it from behind your back to in front, it is still staying the same weight. I'm not increasing your weight because we want that form and that control and that muscle activation to be there and to be strong. So it's really important that we have gone through and taken the time needed to make that happen. So just because your weight's not increasing right now, but if your form has gotten better, if your mobility has gotten better and you have more control, you are still progressing. Number 20, your body adapts. So it is super important. This is a two-parter here. So it's super important that we are progressing our weights and that we are sticking with the same plan for 6 to 8 weeks. And the two-parter here is you need to have a plan. If you are just walking in to the gym with no plan and just kind of moving around, I will take it because you are moving and you are strength training and you are doing cardio and you are doing the things. But if you are struggling to see results, you need a plan. You need to know what to do on what days and when to increase your weight. You have to have that or you are going to stay exactly where you are. So that being said, if you have questions or you don't know, send me a message. I write programs for people. I write all of your workouts. Or when I plan the classes, I plan the classes so they progress, so we get stronger week in and week out. Okay, so we've got 10 more here. We're going to rapid fire these. Habit, mindset, and lifestyle section. 21, perfection is the enemy of consistency. Stop trying to be perfect. I don't care if you got 2 vegetables and you got 1 vegetable in. Consistency, good. I don't care if you got all your water in, but you drank some water. Consistency, good. I don't care if you had an hour workout or a 5-minute workout. You did the workout, good. Consistency matters over being perfect. Sleep is so underrated. Focus on it. I love my sleep. I can tell when my body feels amazing. When my body and mind are excelling is when my sleep is good. When my sleep sucks, my body and my mind suck. I'm tired. I'm lethargic. I can't put things together. I'm doing myself and others a disservice. Prioritize your sleep. 23, stress management is as important as diet and exercise. If you are somebody who is just high stress all the time and cannot find a way to regulate yourself, you may be doing all the things right, diet and exercise, but if you cannot manage your stress, it's going to be holding you back. Small habits lead to big results. Micro habits over time create big results. I talk about micro habits. We start really small. If our goal is 90 ounces of water and you're not drinking any, we're going to start with 10 ounces. Once we've accomplished that, we're then going to go to 20 ounces. And we're going to slowly build ourselves up. Micro habits. 25, your environment matters. Set yourself up for success. This can look a variety of ways. You can take this however you want. The 2 that always come to mind for me when I say this is, if you are somebody who likes your weights at home and you like to work out at home, do not hide them away to make it harder to do it. Keep them out, keep them visible. Set yourself up for success by saying, oh, I got my weights. I can go into my workout. Set yourself up for success by having fruits and veggies and high quality proteins and fiber on hand that are easy to grab, that are quick and convenient, so that you can do it without any of those hesitations or roadblocks. 26, tracking progress goes beyond the scale. Anytime I start working with anybody, I honestly do not care if you tell me your weight. I do not care if you do measurements. I do not care. That is totally on you and what you would like to do. What I do require, though, is you tell me how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, what's your sleep look like, and what's your stress look like. We take a starting point because honestly, all of those things you're going to see changes in before the scale probably moves. My things change. My scale has been pretty consistent for a long time now, but I see changes in all those other areas. So the scale is not the only way to measure progress. And honestly, it's my least favorite way to measure progress. And some of you may be thinking, oh no, that's terrible. That's okay. You can have that opinion. I hate the scale. And I would rather get you from feeling crummy and sluggish and not wanting to get out of bed to feeling excited to be around people by implementing healthy habits through exercise and nutrition. 27, your all or nothing mindset is holding you back. Stop. I know it's really hard. We have to practice. Okay, I can't do an hour. I can't even do a half hour, but I can do 10 minutes. And accepting that, in doing it, in celebrating that. Oh, I can't make X, Y, and Z happen. I just won't do it. No. What portion of it can you do? Can you do it today, or does it just need to be moved? Be honest with yourself. 90% of the time, we do just say, I just can't do it. Do it. Do it to the best of your ability, even if it does not look 100%. 80-20 is always going to be our goal here. 28, find movement you enjoy and you will stick to it. Have a handful of things that you enjoy doing. Dancing, strength training, walking, running, whatever that looks like. Have forms of movement that you enjoy. Switch it up every once in a while. 29, saying no to things that drain you is a health habit. Say no. Your yeses are so important and need to be protected. So if you are saying yes to everybody and you are giving your energy to every single other person but yourself, You need to start saying no. It's going to be uncomfortable because people that you usually say yes to, that you're now saying no to, probably are not going to react well. That's on them. You are protecting what you need to protect so that you can do what you need to do for you. And number 30, your health is a lifelong game. It's a marathon. It is not a sprint. There's no finish line to sustainable and maintainable health. Yeah, you may hit a weight loss goal, or you may hit a PR, or you may finish a race and feel super accomplished. Like, those are milestones along the way, but those are not the finish line. If you still see your health as there's a finish line, you are not seeing the long-term end game. It's gonna sound boring, but you're gonna continue to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again until you don't want to do it anymore. And then you're gonna keep doing it for the rest of your life, because it is going to allow you to continue to do what you want to do, continue to feel the way you want to feel from now until our time is done. So it is so important to stop looking at like, oh, I just have to make it till the end of the year, or once I hit this goal, I'm done. No, it is the long game. It is forever you are going to be doing this. Yeah, things are going to tweak and change a little bit, but for the most part, we are doing all the same things for the rest of our life. And it's all about having people in our circle that can cheer us on along the way, that we can cheer on along the way, and ways that we can make it fun. And that's part of the reason why this podcast, why I've enjoyed it so much over this last year, is I've connected with so many amazing women to talk on so many different topics that allow us to see things in different ways, to put that little spin on it, to make it a little bit more fun and interesting while still accomplishing that same lifelong goal. So, turning 30, big milestone. I've had a lot of ups and down feelings about it in general, but honestly, I'm excited. I'm excited for what 30 brings. I'm excited for everything that I have accomplished and proud of myself for everything that I've accomplished up till now. And I love that I'm able to share these lessons with you here on the podcast. So once again, the biggest way that you can thank me for the podcast and to celebrate my birthday would be to share this podcast with somebody you know and love that you think would resonate with this, whether it's today's episode or any of our episodes. I've really enjoyed our last 51 episodes. This is our 52nd, and it's crazy to think it's already been one full year since we launched this. So with that, as a reminder, make sure to check out the show notes. I've got some freebies in there. We've got some big news coming up, so make sure you follow us on social. All of those links are going to be in the show notes. And thank you so much for taking time out of your day today to learn 30 lessons that I have learned and to celebrate my birthday with me. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the EmpowerHer Wellness podcast. I hope you found today's episode inspiring and packed with actionable tips. Remember, your journey to becoming the strongest, most confident version of yourself is just beginning. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode and join our community of empowered women. Until next time, stay strong and stay confident.